Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, the impeachment process is on. President Trump and House Democrats are now on a collision course. This after accusations that the president sought help from Ukraine's government for his re-election bid. Montana's own delegation split, some saying withholding information is dangerous. Others say Democrats have impeachment fever. Well, the president himself fired off a series of angry tweets calling today's announcement presidential harassment. Nicole Killian has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi ended months of caution by the Democrats and announced the House is moving ahead with an impeachment inquiry.
The president must be held accountable. No one is above the law.
Pelosi accused President Trump of betraying his oath of office following a whistleblower complaint amid reports he may have pressured Ukraine to investigate political rival Joe Biden and his son.
If we allow a president to get away with shredding the United States Constitution, that will last forever.
CBS News has learned the president ordered the State Department and Pentagon to withhold hundreds of millions of dollars in military aid, days ahead of a July phone call with the Ukrainian leader.
This is the president basically saying, yes, I colluded. What are you going to do about it?
President Trump responded earlier in the day.
Look, it's just a continuation of the witch hunt.
And later tweeted calling the move presidential harassment.
I think House Democrats have got impeachment fever, and the only cure is going to be re-electing the president.
House and Senate Intelligence Committees want to meet with the whistleblower, and White House and intelligence agencies are discussing ways to make it happen. Late Tuesday, the Senate approved a bipartisan measure calling on the administration to turn over a copy of the whistleblower's complaint. As for the phone call in question, President Trump said he authorized the release of the full unredacted transcript on Wednesday.
It was a very good call. There was no pressure put on them whatsoever.
That's also when he's set to meet with Ukraine's president face-to-face. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The acting director of national intelligence is set to appear before the House Intelligence Committee on Thursday. Well, this morning, Montana Governor Steve Bullock said he too supports moving forward with the impeachment process. Bullock's presidential campaign released a statement this afternoon saying in part, if the president abused his office and jeopardized American national security for his own personal gain, then the House needs to impeach him. Republican Congressman Greg Gianforte last week criticized current investigations into Trump, saying there are more serious issues facing our country, quote, and yet this committee is hot under the collar with impeachment fever, driving the committee to neglect those serious issues. Republican Senator Steve Daines' office said in a statement today that Steve believes the Democrats sound like a broken record with their 2+ years of impeachment threats. On Ukraine, Steve believes now isn't the time to speculate and looks forward to hearing the facts. And as spokesperson for Democratic Senator Jon Tester says, quote, withholding the report from a co-equal branch of government is unprecedented and it's dangerous. Tester believes he will have to get the facts from the IG report before we can talk about next steps. Well, a former Billings Elementary School teacher accused of sexually assaulting 2 of his students pleads not guilty today. 30-year-old Brent Skelton in court denied the felony charges. He was taken into custody last Thursday. Skelton was a teacher at Orchard Elementary until allegations of inappropriate contact with 2 female students ages 11 and 12 surfaced in July. Charging documents state Skelton allegedly exchanged inappropriate late-night text messages with these girls this summer. Further investigation revealed during the school year, Skelton also allegedly touched both girls under their underwear in class. Now, Judge Michael Moses lowered Skelton's bond from $150,000 to $50,000 today. If Skelton does post bond, he must wear a GPS monitor and stay away from any children or schools. Well, turning to weather, Bob McGuire, things are going to get chilly here, but potentially dangerous along the Montana Highline.
Possibly record-setting type snow snow expected up on the highline. Let me show you what's happening. This is our winter storm watch for up there by Cut Bank and Glacier Park, Kalispell down to Augusta and Choteau. Anywhere on Friday to Sunday evening, looking for snow, 18 to 36 inches of snow up there. Blizzard, blowing snow and drifting snow conditions all through that area. It's just going to be pretty nasty. Now take a look at this. Here is what our general estimated snowfall GFS model is showing. And as you can see here, it's a lot of snow. They're saying 2 to 4 feet of snow at Cut Bank, 2 to 4 feet of snow in Great Falls. Other places like Lewistown could see 6 to 10 inches of snow. Other places 14 to 20 inches over at Helena. But here in Billings, it looks like it's just going to be light snow. It's stuff mainly going to be out in western Montana, but we might see a little bit on the grassy areas. Now, this is just the first cut of this. We're probably going to see that number change a number of times between now and then. But right now, these are the best numbers we have, and it looks like it's just going to be a major snow event for up in the west. We'll have more on this coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Bob. And on the weather front, some big news for those of you and the Q2 News team heading out to Saturday Live this weekend in Billings. We all get to stay dry and warm and support our local students in schools at the same time. Now, Saturday Live has been moved from Pioneer Park inside to Skyview High School. The event will run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. this Saturday, the 28th. All games, prizes, booths, and entertainment will be relocated to the school, so no one misses out on any of the fun. Now, the Skyview parking lot will be open for use, and Harvest Church is offering its parking lot and free shuttle services to that event. Now, whenever you take a road trip across Montana, it is inevitable you will see roadkill. And now the call is out for volunteers to count that roadkill. MTN's Cody Boyer shows us, literally.
There are all sorts of animals in Montana. You know that, I know that, big, small, everything in between. But most of the time when you do get to find them, well, they're a little bit down on their luck in places like these out here on Huffine Lane. But that's where you could actually help science.
There's a lot of animals out there.
There's nothing quite like taking a bike ride out in the valleys of Montana. Wildlife is everywhere and can be beautiful to witness. But with busy roads, those animals are often at the wrong end of that deal.
The impact of human transportation is one of the largest impacts that humans have on mortality amongst wild animals.
That's where the adventure scientists like Andrew Howley come in, and they are looking for a special kind of volunteer.
Adventurous outdoors people around the world recording the roadkill that they encounter on their adventures.
You heard him right. Roadkill. And they are looking for cyclists to help take pictures of it.
They're recording the roadkill that they see and uploading it to an online database.
Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks, as well as the Department of Transportation, are partnering up with the same mission. It started globally and with shocking numbers.
Every year there's 1 million animals hit per day in the United States, and there are 29,000 humans injured on the roads, and it does $8.4 billion in damages.
The plan, and they've done this before, gather over 200 teams of cyclists to cover all 11,000 miles of state and county roads across the state.
We're going to cover all of Montana 4 times a year for several years.
As macabre as it might be, it's actually quite simple. When you're on your bike, make sure you get off. You might see some rabbit that didn't quite make it. Take out your phone and you take a picture. And then from there, you just send it right to them along with its location, and that's one step forward.
Our whole goal is to get scientists and conservationists the data that they need so that they can make better decisions and have a lasting positive impact on the environment and human health.
Now, you can sign up for free through the Adventure Scientist website, which is another easy step. But the first wave of fieldwork itself begins this weekend, September 27th. In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Quite the adventure. Well, 100 years young, a lively group of special Montanans were honored tonight here in Billings. The Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services celebrated those turning 100 or older by the end of this year. The centenarian celebration is part of the 51st Annual Governor's Conference on Aging. That conference brings together Montanans that care for our state's elderly. Now, the state knows of 140 people who have turned or will turn 100 by the end of this year. Q2's Mitch Laggy caught up with Laurel native 102-year-old Helen Reidelbach to ask her secret to longevity.
Just hard work and do your own cooking.
Do your own cooking, huh? Why is that important?
Don't eat that stuff that's already made at the stores.
Okay, so no Marie Callender for you, huh?
Yeah.
Helen says she still likes to crochet and has a long lineage, including 7 grandkids, 14 great-grandkids, and 10 great-great-grandkids. Up next on Q2, we bring you a powerful story of survival and gratitude from the girl known to most as Baby Grace. And later in sports, why you should plan to go to Rockies football game this Saturday, even if you are not a football fan.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.